So assuming that you haven't read the chart yet, however, it's kind of important to be proactive and do that. But you're going to want to tell, or I'm going to tell you, okay, so Nurse Cole, it's going to be a 75-year-old African-American woman. She had primary hypertension for about 20 years. Her blood pressure has been regularly treated with antihypertensive drugs. She's been 1 year stable until this episode. She has an external angina pectoris secondary to a CAD. Her pain has been successfully controlled with a nitroglycerin patch and sublingual. She came in with high vitals of blood pressure 154/90, and then respiratory at 14, and her O2 was at 96%. The first labs were all negative. She didn't have any changes in her ECG, indicating that she was not experiencing an MI. But since the pain's been persistent and intermediate, we wanted to go ahead and get a cath. She's getting a cardiac cath put in tomorrow. We're monitoring and documenting every hour. She gets a pain and vitals assessment. So whenever I went in there, she's also on oxygen and she has an IV. It is in her right arm, and she's getting 5% dextrose and lactate at 100 milliliters an hour, and her oxygen's set at 1 liter. Today, whenever I went in there, she's super nice. She's conscious. Her LCO is ×4. She wasn't having any pain when I first asked her when I walked in. However, when we were completing the assessment, she stopped me and started having another attack. She said that her pain was rated at about a 7, and also that she just had tightness and felt like an elephant was on her chest. She didn't say that, if she felt like anything was causing it. There was no really stressors that she identified when I asked. She got educated on the nitroglycerin. She's been taking it for a year. She knows what this medication does, but went ahead and re-educated her on that and the sublingual effects. Also, she's got the morphine, so I educated her on that. Her BP did go up to 154, or it was 155. 155/100 at one point, but she stayed pretty much in a level 1 hypertension. She never went above that. However, her heart rate did get pretty high. It was at 109 at one point, and then it went back down to about 105, and then went back to normal levels once we managed the pain. I had to give 2 doses of the nitroglycerin and then 1 dose of morphine. The morphine didn't seem to touch her pain. The first dose of the nitroglycerin, that helped her, but it only brought it down to a 6, and she was still complaining of her chest being tight. So I gave the morphine right after, the 2 milligrams, pushed that, and she was still complaining of chest pain even after getting the morphine. That did help with her respiration, though. It brought them down from about 22 back down to about 19, so back within normal limits. But her respiratory rate's not high. It's normally about 14, 16. That was what it varied between while I was there. She got another dose within the 5 minutes. As soon as she took that, I asked her directly afterward if she was feeling any pain, and it had all subsided. So I also ran some urine tests on her just because I know the nitroglycerin can affect their electrolytes. All of that came back within normal limits. So you don't have to worry about that, but do keep an eye on it. The doctor wanted us to do an ECG every time she reported pain, so I did one of those. There were no changes since the first attack, and yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. She's coherent, there's no issues, she's very accepting, so that's always nice. But have a good shift.